Welcome back to the deep dive. I want to start today by asking you a question about your morning routine. Not the, drink water and stretch part, but the digital part.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. You wake up, you grab your phone off the nightstand, and what happens?
Doom scrolling. Immediately.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Right. And lately, it feels like every third headline you see is specifically designed to induce this, mild panic attack about artificial intelligence.
Yeah, it's either AI just cured a disease you didn't know you had.
Or
Yeah.
AI is coming for your job by next Tuesday.
Right. It creates this immense pressure, the pressure to figure out exactly what it means for us right now.
Yes, that's exactly it. It feels like we're all being forced to pick a side in this war that we don't even really understand yet. You have to embrace it fully, or you have to fight it, or, I don't know, ignore it completely.
It's exhausting.
It really is. And usually when we cover tech on this show, we look at the capabilities, right? We look at what the model is doing, the processing power, all that.
The shiny new toys.
Right. But today, we're hitting pause on that. Our deep dive today is based on a stack of sources that are, well, they're just completely different from the usual tech news.
Yeah, they really are.
We have a script and a series of notes from an author named Yoshida. And the title is AI in a Time of Transition, Why I Am Not Done Writing.
And I think it's important to say right up front to everyone listening what this deep dive isn't.
Good idea.
This is not an evaluation of AI's capabilities. It's not a tutorial on how to use it. Yoshida is going to teach you how to prompt engineer your way to a 4-hour work week.
Which, honestly, thank God. If I see one more thread about the top 10 ways to use AI, I might lose my mind.
Same here.
But, the core premise here, and this is what we're going to unpack, is that Yoshida says we are in a transitional phase.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a specific aesthetic choice in the source material that really threw me off at first.
The English.
Yes.
Ugh.
The phrasing. It's intentionally preserved in this unnatural or slightly uncomfortable way.
Hmm?
I mean, my first thought was, why didn't he just run this through a grammar checker?
Right. It feels clunky to read.
Exactly. It feels awkward.
But that is exactly the reaction he wants to provoke. He is doing this weird, fascinating experiment to observe how language, technology, and human judgment interact. He treats AI as a form of translation.
Okay, so he's leaving the glitches in there on purpose, like he wants to study them.
Precisely. We're going to unpack his current point of observation. Basically, a set of personal rules or stances for existing alongside AI without losing your humanity in the process.
Right. So let's jump straight into section 1, which is really the philosophy of this transitional phase. He has this massive refusal to just close his thinking.
Yeah, he talks about being okay with unfinished thoughts and paused questions.
It's like leaving the front door open because you aren't sure if the guest is staying for dinner yet.
That's a great way to put it.
But I'm a close the tabs kind of person. I want the conclusion. So sitting in that unfinished state feels really unnatural.
Which is why his approach of using AI as translation is so profound. And we should clarify, he doesn't mean Google Translate. He doesn't mean English to Spanish.
Right. He means a device to place thinking outside.
Yes. It's translating your messy internal human thought into an external structured format. But he makes a really sharp observation here. This isn't a comparison of human ability versus machine ability.
He actually has a great quote about this. He says, "It is where I move along with convergence and where I return to human instability."
That word convergence is key. Machine convergence is smoothness. AI models are statistically driven to find the most likely answer, the average answer. They want to remove the outliers and converge on a perfectly smooth output.
And then there's our instability.
Right. Human instability is our creativity, our messiness, the sudden leaps of logic that don't make statistical sense. Yoshida is highlighting that contrast.
Usually we think of instability as a bad thing. But here he's saying it's the spark. It's the thing you have to return to.
Exactly. And that brings us to this mantra he keeps repeating throughout the notes, the phrase, for now.
For now, right.
This isn't some permanent manifesto he's writing. It's just a snapshot of a changing relationship.
Which honestly takes so much pressure off. You don't have to have the ultimate take on AI. You just need a stance for now. And that leads us perfectly into the actual rules he sets for himself. The first stance is dealing with judgment and discomfort.
Stance 1, the locus of decision.
I bring the final decision back to myself.
Which sounds incredibly obvious when you say it out loud. You can delegate the work, but never the decision.
But when you actually think about how we use technology, it's not obvious at all. I mean, I delegate micro decisions all the time. I let the map app decide my route, I let the music app decide my playlist.
Right, because it's convenient. But Yoshida refuses to hand over the act of deciding no matter how well-formed or confident the AI's answer is.
The AI does sound so confident.
It does. It gives you this perfectly structured response, and the path of least resistance is just to accept it. But he's saying the rubber stamp has to stay in your hand.
Even if you agree with it, you have to actively make the choice to agree.
Exactly. Which ties directly into his second stance, preserving discomfort.
I do not ignore discomfort. This goes back to that slightly broken English we mentioned earlier.
Yes, most people want to polish everything immediately. If there is a grammatical error, fix it. If the phrasing is weird, smooth it out.
It's like when a song is really catchy, but the lyrics feel slightly wrong. Most people just ignore the lyrics and hum the tune.
But Yoshida zooms in on it. Even when the text is smooth, if there is a small disturbance, he keeps it.
He doesn't fix it immediately.
No, he uses that glitch, that awkwardness, as material for observation. Because that glitch tells him exactly where the machine failed to capture his human nuance.
So if you fix it right away, you're essentially helping the AI cover up its own limitations.
You're hiding the evidence of the collision between human intent and machine output.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
But it also sounds exhausting having to constantly monitor the text like that.
It requires a lot of discipline, because we are naturally drawn to things that look polished, which is exactly what he warns about in stance 3, coherence versus acceptability.
Ah, the trap of coherence. This is where things get genuinely a bit scary.
They do, because the source notes point out that AI converges toward forms with fewer contradictions. It is designed to be coherent.
Right.
But being well-arranged is not the same as being acceptable, or true for that matter.
This is a massive critical thinking point for anyone listening. We are biologically wired to trust things that sound smooth and confident. Cognitive ease, right?
Yes. If a story flows well, our brains relax and just assume it's correct.
It's the con artist analogy. A con artist isn't stuttering and messy. They are charming, and their story is flawless.
Perfectly coherent, but completely fabricated. Yoshida is warning us that the AI's smoothness is just convenience. It is an optimization feature, not a guarantee of truth.
So we have this tool that can smooth talk faster and better than any human, and we are hardwired to fall for it.
Which is why his fourth stance is so vital as a countermeasure, delaying judgment.
I do not rush to conclude.
Sometimes he doesn't even read the AI's answer to the end immediately.
He literally stops reading.
He stops because if you read it, it anchors your brain. By delaying that impulse to accept or reject the output, he creates this necessary space.
Space to see where his own thinking stands before the AI influences it.
Exactly. Because once you see the AI's perfectly articulated version of your idea, your original messy idea gets contaminated. You can't unsee the polished version.
That makes total sense. You have to plant your own flag first. And speaking of space, that brings us to section 4. It's not just mental space he's creating, it's actual physical distance.
Stance 5. Creating distance.
Because convenience shortens distance. We get way too cozy with the tech.
Think about your phone. It's essentially a phantom limb at this point. The distance is 0.
Yeah, if I leave in the other room, I start patting my pockets in a panic.
Right. And when something is that close, you lose perspective. It becomes an extension of you rather than a tool you were using.
So his solution is intentional distance, taking days off.
He creates days to take distance. Stepping away turns the AI back from something close into something that remains a tool, sitting on a desk.
It's like creating a boundary in a relationship. You have to remember that you can function on your own when the server goes down.
And stepping back clarifies who is actually doing what, which is stance 6, the division of labor.
He defines the AI very specifically here. It's a device that places thinking outside, yes, but there's a hard line on who generates the meaning.
The AI organizes. The human creates meaning.
It's the difference between the person who files the legal papers and the person who actually understands what the lawsuit is about.
That's the perfect analogy. The AI is the ultimate filing cabinet. It can sort 1,000 documents, alphabetically, chronologically, by sentiment. It understands the syntax perfectly.
But doesn't understand the semantics.
No, it doesn't know why those documents matter to a human life. It lacks the weight of human experience. So if you ask the AI to organize your thoughts, great. But if you ask the AI to provide the meaning...
That's when you get those hollow, empty statements. Like a corporate apology that has all the right words but feels completely dead inside.
Exactly. Because you handed over the meaning. Yoshida insists that meaning is the substance only you can provide.
I love how rigorous this all is. Keeping the decision, preserving the glitches, delaying judgment, enforcing distance. It's practically a martial art for the mind.
It really is. But then he pulls the rug out from under all of it in his final stance. Stance 7, the fluidity of premises.
Yes,
Mm.
I do not think this is correct.
He writes down all these rules and then openly admits they might be wrong.
I mean, in a tech landscape full of gurus telling you they have the ultimate answer, it is so refreshing to read someone say, even these rules aren't fixed.
Because if technology changes, the position has to change. This is not an arrival point for him, it is a marker.
A marker in a transitional phase. He's just planting a stake in the ground to say, this is where I was standing today.
So he can observe the shift later.
It really brings the whole journey into focus. We've been exploring this mindset that actively values human instability over machine coherence. It prioritizes the meaning over the organization.
And it insists on taking that distance to maintain perspective.
Right. This entire deep dive has been based on finding a current point of observation, which is something we all need right now.
We do.
And I want to leave everyone listening with a final, provocative thought based on Yoshida's rules. We live in a world that is completely obsessing over how smart AI is becoming.
Constantly.
But maybe the most important work right now isn't keeping up with the capabilities. Maybe the most important work is defining the specific things that you simply refuse to hand over, no matter how convenient it becomes.
Deciding. Meaning.
Exactly. What is the one thing you will never delegate? Think about your own daily routine. What is your hard line in the sand?
It's a question you have to answer for yourself.
It is. Take some time to mull that over this week. Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a great conversation.
We will see you next time.